Welcome back to the Big CO podcast by yours truly, Big COZ, aka your bestie. I'm overwhelmed with joy to be back here again with you for our 4th episode. I'm so excited, and today was one of those days where I was thinking, what is on my heart? There were so many things that were on my heart, my mind, and in my spirit. And I said, someone needs to hear about how to overcome the noise. Because I believe if you're a listener of mine, you're in an in-between stage of life, as am I, where you kind of need someone walking in similar steps as you, because I believe nobody's in your same shoes, because as our fingerprint is unique and is based upon the individual and no one has your fingerprint, I believe that in your life, nobody knows how you feel. We can be empathetic and we can be, sympathetic with people in certain situations and circumstances. However, nobody really knows what it takes to be you. And I believe that if you are my listener, you're more than a follower, a fan, or a subscriber. You're an individual. You have a spirit, a soul, and having a body for like a temporary, a temporary experience, I want to say, of life. And if you're my listener, this is going to be my last if you're my listener quote. But if you're my listener, you need to know how to rise above the noise. Because you're at the point of your life where you're at this quote I'm about to give you. It's those of us who create, and it's those that criticize. There are some people that look at criticism as just something that is horrible. There's some people that look at criticism as that's what it takes to get where you want to be in life. Because as people want to say, if nobody's hating on you, you're not doing something right. But I want to just give you a different perspective, that it really boils down to being cut from a different cloth. And I believe that if you're listening to my voice, you're cut from a different cloth. Because you realize it's not just about getting to the mountaintop. It's about the steps in between there that really make or break somebody. And the fact that you're listening to me right now shows me that you're one of them ones that is ready to get to the next level of life. And you want to hear it like walking through a pathway with someone that gets you for real. That understand what it's like to suffer. That understands what it's like to be in survival mode. But who also knows the other side of it. But it's also just in that in-between stage of it's like, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not who I used to be. You get me? And I believe in this season of you stepping out in faith, rising above the noise, you need to know how to handle it. You need to know how to handle the pressure so you don't sink. Like some people that started, but because the waters, got a little too heavy on them, they was afraid to drown. Let me give you a metaphor for it today. One time I was driving out my neighborhood and I was getting ready to go to the store, go to Starbucks, who knows. And I saw a lady, it was a car in front of me and they were getting ready to go. And there was a car behind her, like in the opposite direction of her, of the street that she was trying to cross, that was trying to go and make a turn. And she was trying to see what they were going to do. And eventually one car was acting like they were about to just go. So they went. And she was halfway there, y'all, though. She was halfway through the crosswalk. And she was almost getting closer to her destination. And she went back. So what I'm crying out to you today is, and I'm getting a little pumped up, is that don't you be one of them ones that get scared and you turn back. It's okay for them waters to get deep and heavy and you don't know and you don't see how you're going to make it out and you don't know what's going to happen next. But you have to have a confidence in something bigger than you. To me, that's God. I don't know what it may be for you, but you need to be anchored in something bigger than yourself. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so pumped up. But I've been wanting to share that with somebody for so long. Like, I saw this lady getting ready to cross the street. And I get it. It's different. I'm in my vehicle. You know what I mean? I don't remember the last time I walked somewhere. Like, as far as, like, going to the store. Looked like she, you know what I'm saying? Looked like she was, going somewhere. She looked like she was going home. I don't know. She looked like she just got to work or something. I don't know. But what I do know is that's someone who's living and operating in survival mode in fear. But a person with confidence would have just stood there and recognized, ain't nobody going to hit me. It's a chance that they could, but I'm already almost to the other side. So why would you turn back? Because one person is trying to pass you. Let them folks go ahead, go whatever direction they want to go. But when it's your time to walk across that crosswalk, and you at that crossroad right now, it's going to be your time, and you need to go. And you need to go with a boldness and a confidence and not with a fear and a doubt. You see, and oftentimes we got people, you might need to do some inventory. I was going to say you need to cut some folks off, but you might just need to do some inventory. Because just like seasons come and go, sometimes it's meant to break off from somebody who's connected to you because they can't go where you're going. When you start speaking out in faith and talking about certain things that you want to do or you're already doing and they don't get it, and you be feeling that energy, it takes a discerning person to know when I got to draw the line in the sand. And we got to recognize it might be all love, but you can't go with me where I'm going next in my life. Okay. All right, y'all, let me calm down. I'm pretty hyped up. I'm so excited that I decided to speak on this today because I see it must have been something deep in me that I needed to get this out. And I feel like whoever's listening to me, you need to hear this right now too. So if I got to be your little voice in your head that gets you up early, that gets you going, because listen to me. In this next period of your life, to get from where you are to the next level of you being able to look back at your life yet again and say, I don't know, but I'm not where I used to be. I don't know how it happened, but I'm not who I used to be. It's time to go to that next level. And if you're going to be a person who does that, let me go back to my main point in this. You need to be a person who knows how to rise above the noise. Because I believe if you analyze people from back in the day or even now who quote unquote, and I say quote unquote made it because it's by your own definition. Like, what is it? What is making it look like to you? What is making it out of however you was raised or whatever environment you in, maybe even now? Like, what is making it to you? It depends on the individual. Making it to somebody who lives in like a foreign country or something like that. And I say foreign as to us because sometimes we go to other places. We are foreigners in their land, just as people come here and they're kind of like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So there is culture shock. So don't get confused just because I said that. But the main point of it is, it depends on how you look at it. It depends on the individual. It goes back to my main point is like, nobody's you. Nobody knows what it takes to be you every day. Nobody knows what it's going to take you to get to where you want to be in life and quote unquote make it. But what I've noticed from people that have quote unquote made it, you know, whether that be financially, you know, putting themselves out there, spreading messages, encouraging people, being motivational speakers, being pastors, whatever that is for them, quote unquote making it, or to the world, it looks like they made it. That's like a milestone that we all want to achieve, is something that someone has done, you know, whether it be the car, the place, giving, tithing, you know, whatever it is. But what does it mean for you to quote unquote, like I said, make it? And either way it goes, if you look at these people's lives, you know, and it's good to have someone that's like, yeah, I want to get there. I want to achieve that. It's all is well with that. All I'm trying to say is don't get too confused about what somebody else doing in comparison to where you at, because you're cut from a different cloth. And when you're cut from a different cloth, you see these people that are like ageless practically, like since they've been in the quote unquote limelight or whatever they call it. You know, they seem like, what's going on? Like they came up for maybe nothing and they're still in the prime light, you know? So it's like, what was it? It's the fact they rose above the noise. They could care less if somebody's maybe for them or not for them. And what I mean by that is like, they don't allow people that's not even doing what they're trying to do or in the same arena as them coach them and tell them which way to go. you know, if we look at J-Lo or certain people like that, or, you know, just people that we know off rip, if somebody mentions their name, who they are, Barack Obama, you know, or any extreme, you know, whatever it is, we look at these people and like, okay, they made it. This is big what they did, you know, but it's the fact that no matter if somebody was putting out something negative about them, it didn't stop them. If somebody was putting out something positive about them, and maybe they didn't even agree with it, but it was cool, that was their thought, they still didn't let anything stop them. So you have to learn how to rise above the noise. And I know you're probably thinking, like, Z, you was really hyped up. Where are you getting at? What am I getting at is the fact that even me, who am I? Like I keep saying, who am I that you would listen to me? But you are, and you're here with me, and I really appreciate you. And it's only the beginning for us. You're becoming a big CEO of your own life. That's what it's about. You know, being the owner, operator, and like doing the daggone thing. Pushing it out there. Even if it gets hard. Even if it gets heavy. Doing what you feel like is placed on your heart to do. And you got to go 1,000 miles in that direction. And unless you fall off a cliff and you fail it, you better keep going with it. Unless something is telling you like, all right, this ain't for me. I tried it and I'm sinking like sand in it. But if it's taking you a little while, like you're trying to build up being like an influencer or something, and like, or you need to be like you need to switch that around, you know, watch what you're influencing, you know. But if you find the thing that is encouraging people for real, and you're like a motivator and you get people going, then, you know, that's something to take inventory of. And like, okay, this is my thing. I need to go with this. See where this takes me. Build your brand. You are a brand. You're representing yourself every day, even when you don't realize it. From the shoes that you put on to the things that you say, you are representing who you are and who you are becoming. But don't let that go over your head. But what I love about rising above the noise is like you keep creating while they criticizing you. You keep going, you keep building while they keep criticizing you. And some criticism is constructive criticism, because it's like either you need to hear it, or it's something that's like you need to just build tougher skin and like build your mind up, that people are going to always have something to say about you. Whether you're doing and living the way they want you to, or you're doing it in a different direction, pretty much until you get to that quote unquote period that I spoke about just a moment ago as far as making it, people are going to always have something to say, especially those closest to you, because they're looking at your life based upon what you've told them. But they don't know all the in between. They don't know your heart. They don't know what God's given you in your dreams. They don't know. So therefore, if they don't know, you can't expect you from other people. That's another major point. Stop expecting yourself from other people, because small-minded people think small thoughts. And when the enemy thinks that he is silencing you, he's actually amplifying your voice. And what I mean by that is like when people on your page are like commenting, even on in real life or on internet, sometimes people just don't know, but based upon what they've lived, they know nothing greater than that. So when you're sharing tough and sensitive moments with them, they might be looking at it like you complaining or like your life is a joke, because they not the one in there living it. But if they was living it, or if they knew an inch of a grain of salt, what you've been through, what it takes to hold your crown up every day, male or female, you need to fix your crown every day. You know, I know they push the narrative of like, you know, women fix your crown. Men, fix your crown too. Sometimes you need to remind yourself who you are and stop letting people tell you who you are. And if you're confident within yourself, and like I said, you're anchored in something bigger than yourself, how can you fail? It might seem like you're failing. It might seem like this isn't going to work out for you. But I believe wholeheartedly, whatever it is that you want to do, if you give it your all, and you ain't just trying to do it for a little bit of quick cash, or you ain't just trying to do it for a little bit of limelight, you're going to make it. You're going to be your own definition of making it. But it takes rising above the noise, especially in the beginning stages. Because I tell y'all this. So, you know, I post my podcast on YouTube. But I also have been posting like, you know, little fitness clips and stuff like that. Because, you know, I do personal training, and I offer nutrition coaching. And there was a lot of politicking on my post this week. More good than bad. But it still had me in some points where I was like, nah, I can't be who I say I am, because I'm over here tight about something that from somebody who I don't even know said something about me. And I'm the one who's creating. And for me, in this little point that I'm at in my life, it might feel little to those who looking at it, but it's significant to me in my heart, because I need to correct myself on that. I'm talking about little, it's big around here, y'all. We big CEOs. So, and if that's the case, you have to rise above the noise. And that's what I did, because guess what, y'all? I'm a person that was acting like I couldn't put up my camera in the gym and I couldn't record because I was nervous and people looking at me and they're going to be asking me questions. Almost every single day this week, I've trained about 6 days this week. Every single day, I recorded. I created. I pushed myself some way, somehow. I'm not just talking about pushing myself in my life or like in the gym, because I do that all the time. There's nothing new. But as far as pushing myself to be okay with being in the daggone limelight. Because if other people have made it, what's the difference between, me and them? Are you and them? It's those that create and do, and it's those who criticize and politic on the sidelines and don't know what it takes to get in the field. And I'm calling y'all, I don't want to make this too long. I was thinking this was going to be a shorter episode. I'm calling y'all to rise above the noise with me. Can you do that? I believe in you. I believe you can. And this was heavy on my heart to push this out here, and I'm so glad I did, because no matter what they say about you, no matter how they feel about you, don't let other people be the reason why you don't get nowhere in life. Because let me tell you this, no matter your situation, whether you're living at home or you get in the penthouse or you're in between, whatever it is, if you keep on letting people push the narrative of who you are in your life, then you will never know the narrative when you become the narrator of your own life. Whew. Hello. So if you keep on trying to let other people narrate your life, get you all messed up because you still in your feelings or your emotions about stuff that they said or they did to you, while they go on and kick it and live their life, and you stay stuck in what that person said, while other people is out there doing it. Other people out there creating and living the life that you would like to live, experiencing the things in this life that you would like to experience, touching the lives that you would like to touch, being the person that you would like to be. Hello. Of course, it's going to be different because it's going to be you in them shoes, but you still have things that push you or motivate you or get you going. There's nothing wrong with that, because after you get to that breaking point of your life, I say between maybe 30, 90 days, you got things that motivate you and push you and get you up and get you going, but then it's on you. Then you're going to know what it really takes, to get to that next level of your life where you are living in such a confidence and such a faith and such a trust and such a love that despite what people say and the noise and the narrative that they're trying to push at you about you, you switch it and you flip it back on them. And you say to yourself, I am not who people say I am. I am whose I am. You are who you say you are. By whose I am, I mean God. Like I said, that's where I resonate with my heart. I always want to come back to Him, anchor myself in Him. It's not about me. It's not about what I look like. It's not about anything. It's about the words I speak. It's about how I make people feel. That's what it's really about. And more, of course. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to speak to someone today. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to hear my voice today. And it gives me chills, to know you're here with me. And let me know how this episode reached you. Let me know how this touched your heart. Let me know if this moved you any kind of way. Let me know if you have something that you would like me to speak on that maybe you're not ready to strap on your boots and speak on it. Because I think you should be doing the daggone thing. I think whatever is placed in your heart that you want to try, whether it's being a swim teacher, being a coach, going back to school, starting that business, learning a new craft, baby, go after it. Bestie, go after it. Because I'm telling you, on the other side of you going after it, rising above the noise, despite what people got to politic and say about what you're doing when you're doing the thing, whew, Lord. You're going to be a bad boy or girl. Ain't nobody going to be able to stop you, baby. So, all love. Until next time, Big COZ. Thank you so much.